our morning show broadcast. Well, they're going to have funeral service later today for a friend of ours who passed away this week. We will miss Bob Konen, longtime Kane County farmer and very much involved in agriculture of the region. Many of you who farm in northern Illinois would have known of Bob Konen, and many of you would have passed by his farm along Interstate 88 there, right at the west edge of Aurora. He and Alice and the boys farmed there. Well, it's now a shopping center. It's right there. I believe it's a Target shopping center. It's right there in the neighborhood of Orchard Road. You might remember seeing the Konen farm there over the years, and especially at Christmas time, because there was a blue harvest store on which Bob and the boys would put a Christmas tree every year. And they had a barn, and on the front of that barn, the side facing I-88, they had a tractor in Christmas lights, and the wheels were those racing lights, so it looked like the wheels of the tractor were turning at Christmas time. I used to tease Bob about him being late and either putting up that tree on top of the harvest store or taking it down. And I think he suggested once or twice that maybe I could do the job for him, and I respectfully declined. Bob Konen was a guy who, it struck me, never stopped learning. I mean, as recently as a couple of years ago, he took a class at a community college in video production. Now, this was a farmer, very much in tune with growing out on the land and producing on the land, but he was into technology. He liked gadgets, and we used to synchronize our shortwave watches that were tuned by the federal shortwave signal just to see if our watches were tracking time with each other. He liked to learn. He continued to learn throughout his 73 years. This is the thing that I didn't realize, though, about Bob. And I was visiting with his wife, Alice, yesterday, and we talked about his involvement in 4-H over the years. And this is something that always just amazes me. And I've run into other volunteers like this, and they are very proud of their experiences in working with young people over the years. But Bob never talked about it. To the great extent, he never talked about the amount of time. But he was honored at the State Fair last year. In fact, I believe Orion presented the certificate to him as a 50-year volunteer in 4-H. And that's pretty remarkable when you think about it. Over all of those years, 50 of his 73 years were involved as a founder of a 4-H club and a 4-H leader and volunteering for 4-H in a variety of ways. Bob had just finished planting his corn crop last Thursday and then was hit with a stroke during the night and was hospitalized and then passed away earlier this week. We'll miss his friendship, to be sure, and we know he'll be missed immensely by Alice and the boys, 4 boys, Mike and Tom and Gary and Paul, and we extend our condolences to them on their loss as well. There's more coming up here. Speaking of Kane County farmers, we'll talk with Lee Strom, who's Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Farm Credit Administration, as the Saturday morning show continues on News Talk 720 WGN.